Hey everybody, we're Geeking Out Ninjas, and we're here to geek out. Hey Craig, what's going on?
Hey Jeremiah. Not a whole lot, man.
No?
No. Just just flexing my inner Paul Bunyan today.
So, what does that mean? Paul Bunyan.
It's cutting down some trees, man.
Like with an axe?
No, I mean you got to use modern tools, right?
Okay. So you got a chainsaw.
I had a chainsaw, yeah.
All right.
The quick way to cut down a tree. Unless
Nice.
you probably have like a really sharp axe and then maybe that's faster, but I don't know.
Well, I guess it depends on how big the tree was.
That's true. Mine were all half trees at this point. So I previously half cut them down.
Okay. Okay.
And so they turned into makeshift topiaries.
Did you shape them before you cut them down?
I'd really tried for a couple years and it didn't
Did
work
you?
out. My wife, no, I didn't really do it. Uh, my wife, I think my wife got tired of it, but also I cut them down because we're about to do a big project in our yard, um, and there's a possibility that we will need the firewood in February again. So it's just like, you know what? Let's just cut this down so we have some extra firewood.
Backyard?
Yeah, in the backyard.
Backyard.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen your backyard.
Well, I kind of have like two backyards. So we technically have the lot next to our house. That's the backyard that I'm talking about. And then we have like a backyard
Uh,
behind our house. But yeah,
I don't think I've seen either one.
I think when you've been over here, we've mainly probably been in the house. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you didn't let me outside. It was like in the front door and then like
Yeah.
the front part of the house even. I didn't.
The backyard is a mess. Once we have our backyard, worked on, then I'm sure my wife will want to throw a party. We'll just have everybody over.
Nice. It'll probably be when we have a backyard party.
Yeah. Same time.
Actually, we did have a party, but y'all didn't come.
You know, my wife was working that weekend, so I was home
Okay.
with all three girls.
That's right. You had all three.
Yeah.
It ended up raining, so nobody got in the pool, I think is what
It was a sad
happened.
day. It was a sad
Yeah.
day. What's going on with you, Jeremiah?
Nothing much. Just was watching National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Classic.
The holiday season has begun in our house, so we decorated a little bit and um, cooked for Thanksgiving. Most people will probably listen and watch this after Thanksgiving, but we are recording this on the
Yes,
Wednesday before,
that is true.
and so my wife spent the day cooking because she works on Thanksgiving, and then we eat on Friday.
Really?
That's how we roll. But we
Same.
pre-cook everything but the turkey. So it's just a matter of heating everything up on Friday
Nice.
for us.
Makes things
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah. So it was a big holiday while I worked and people cooked, and then we decorated a little bit,
Yeah.
and then we're ready to celebrate. Tomorrow's is just another Thursday around here, and not much going on.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
We are actually going to my parents' house.
Mm-hmm.
Whole family's coming over. My wife's mother and father will also be at my parents' house. It's
Oh,
normally what we do for Thanksgiving.
okay.
Everybody kind of just goes to my parents' house and
Yeah.
we spend the day there.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a good
Cool.
time.
Are y'all football fans? I mean, is football on during the day?
No, not really.
No, I didn't think you guys were.
Yeah, I don't really care about football anymore.
No.
I used to watch like the Cowboys and all that kind of stuff, but
Did you?
yeah, long time ago.
Yeah.
Many
Oh,
moons ago, Jeremiah. Many moons ago.
Oh, can I just say something about that? That just brought up something.
Please do.
So, I was ended up talking to someone earlier this week who enlightened me about moon phases, in that farmers actually pay attention to the phases of the moon when they plant their crops. Did you know that?
I did not, but that makes sense.
I didn't either. I had no idea. And I don't know how interested I really am in it, but
Yeah.
he told me quite a bit. And so I learned a lot.
That's good.
I'll probably forget it by tomorrow, but I remember a few things that he talked about. He was quite excited about it. He had his gardening book with him and
Yeah.
was very excited about it.
As long as he's excited, it's really all that matters, right?
He is. He was. Yeah, he showed me a diagram of his backyard and everything. So, um,
Cool.
yes,
Check out this sweet diagram of my backyard, Jeremiah.
yes. He told me where, what side of the house faced what. Tell me what he's going to be planting, and I don't even know what side. I know where the sun goes down, but I don't know. Like it's not really west. I guess I don't know where my house faces. Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like whatever, dude.
I could not tell you mine either. I know that my house was not perfectly, the roof of my house was not perfectly set up for solar panels. I can tell you that. So
Okay. Don't you have solar panels?
I do have solar panels, but they're not optimal setting.
Oh, I think ours would be, especially in the back. I had someone scheduled to come out, but something happened. They
The
didn't
solar
come out.
the solar panel installer died. It was a tragic event.
No, I think it was a holiday weekend, and I don't know. It's
They
like
bailed.
whatever. I'll get another call eventually and decide to have somebody come out and look.
I had Tesla do mine because they were one of the cheapest ones.
You should tell me who you use because I signed
Tesla.
up for to be notified when CPS. So CPS partners with somebody that supposedly what they do is they build like over parking lots, like coverings for parking lots,
Yeah.
and then they'll put the panels on that to kind of help offset the cost.
Yeah.
But I guess they're just not selling as many of those as I guess they thought they would because like I don't have any notifications about that.
Interesting.
And I don't know that I want to wait any longer.
You shouldn't.
I should.
You shouldn't wait any
I
longer.
shouldn't wait any longer. Yeah, I should go ahead and see what's going on with my roof, right?
Yeah.
It's a fairly new roof, so
Then you're good to go.
I think I'm good. Yeah, I need to get somebody out. Thank you for having this discussion with me.
I'm glad we could have this discussion. Tesla is one of the cheaper ones. I would recommend going with them and getting one of the power walls, which will add to the cost, but it'll also help you when Texas's grid eventually collapses and then you're left with no power. So
We didn't lose power when the grid went down earlier this
I'm
year.
just saying, when the grid eventually collapses in the state of Texas, did you hear about all the Bitcoin miners that are coming to Texas now?
No, I did not.
Because we have so much excess power that we need people who are just running Bitcoin farms to use tons and tons of power.
I think it's too hot here to run that. Don't they need like a cool place? Like
Nope. That's what
does
air
it generate a
conditioners are
lot of
for.
heat? Huh?
That's what air conditioners are for. They can just
Well,
spin
that's
more,
what I'm saying. You're
use
using
more
all
power.
that. Did we talk about Microsoft like putting a data center in the ocean?
I don't know if we talked. Well, we might have talked about it. I know I've read about it. Yeah.
I think we did on an earlier episode. I was because it's cooler,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Apparently worked out for him.
Did it? I haven't
Yeah.
heard anything either way.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they're going to move forward with any more, but
Yeah.
pretty interesting experiment. So I know we've talked about discussing our Fitbit stuff. I feel like we need to get into this real quick. We're not going to do like a long deal, but I think today
I'm not happy with my Fitbit.
me cutting down trees probably helped me
You cheated.
really probably excel in my zone minutes.
Well, I just figured out, I'll say this. I didn't work out today. I did go a couple days ago. I went on Monday, worked out. And I realized that I wear my watch too loose
Oh, really?
because I have been trying to track my zone. I'm like, there's no way. You know, when you work out and if you're on a bike or whatever, you can do the pulse things there. I'm like, this is not making sense.
Right.
And so when I, kind of researched it a little bit, yeah, I wear the watch too loose. So it has not been calculating correctly. That's my excuse anyways.
Done.
My zone minutes.
Well, that can't be your excuse next time, though.
Yeah.
It's a one-time excuse.
I didn't go work out today.
So we were supposed to see who had the most zone minutes for the last week. Let's start from like November 17th.
Right, go back here.
I'm going to count mine here. 16, 24, 41.
That's terrible.
44, 95 for the last 7 days.
What?
Yeah, 95. I had 51 today, though, so.
Oh, look at that. Oh, wait, that's not the right.
I'm just looking at it in the app.
Yeah, I have to look at it in the app because I'm trying to find it on the website. It's not doing too well there.
If you click on zone minutes in the front and then go to week, it breaks it down by day.
Wrong app. Hang on. I haven't quite figured out how to use my phone yet. There we go. Zone minutes for the week.
Minutes.
See, this is what I'm saying. I've got 12.
12 for the whole week?
No. Hang on. Wait.
For the past, since November 17th.
Hang on.
I'm hanging on.
17.
For the whole week?
That's what I'm saying. I wasn't wearing my watch properly.
I think we're gonna have to check that again. All right. So the other one we were gonna do, just as a interesting thing.
Sleep, right?
Sleep.
All right, let's go.
So it does like a sleep score as well.
Yeah.
Let's just do the last where it says this week.
Okay.
I mean, we can go back to last week, but I have a sleep score of 78 for the last 4 days. And
so
6 hours and 7 minutes of average sleep.
This week, mine is 79.
Nice.
7 hours and 9 minutes.
Damn, you get a lot more than I do. What is your highest sleep score for a day?
For this week or like for?
Just this week.
84.
Ooh, mine's 83.
Look at that.
So it's kind of interesting how this works.
Yeah.
Right? So it tells you like your time of sleep. Mine was, so like last night, for instance, mine was 6 hours, 22 minutes time of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I was 47 minutes awake within the 7 hours that I was in bed asleep.
Right.
An hour and 6 minutes of that was either deep sleep or REM sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And then 64% counted towards restoration, as they call it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Mine was 99% below.
Really?
Resting, yeah.
Interesting. I had 7% tossing and turning.
5%.
And apparently I am a quiet snorer at 41 decibels with 26% snoring during sleep, which is
Oh, where'd you see that?
I clicked on restoration. I didn't know how to get to that. I was wondering. I just clicked it thinking, how do I do this? So I have an average heart rate of 74 beats per minute while I'm sleeping during restoration.
That's terrible. Mine's 52.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
I might be dying, Jeremiah.
You might be. I don't see anything about snoring here. Of course, I wear a CPAP machine, so.
Oh, well, your watch may also not support that.
It probably doesn't. I don't have the fancy one. But I do have a machine on for most of the night. It does come off at some point early morning. I was, of the 6 hours and 51 minutes that I was asleep last night, an hour and 11 minutes is when I was awake. That's great. It tells you what time too.
Yeah, so pretty interesting what the Fitbit tracks. I've been pretty impressed with like the automatic workout tracking as well. Like maybe I'd take a long walk or something,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll say, "Hey, I just tracked that 17-minute walk for you." I'm like, "Score! I didn't even have to like start a activity or something."
Yeah. I haven't gone to yoga, so I haven't told it to track that. But I am going to start wearing my watch tighter. That was the problem. It was pretty loose.
Yeah.
So my zone minutes should go up next time we talk about this.
All right. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see, Jeremiah.
I was just trying to look at it online, and I mean they give you some information online, but it's a little bit harder to find it all.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can record like how much water you drink and
Yeah, you can do a lot of manual input on the watch and all that stuff.
yeah.
So I'm not interested in doing that. But all right,
Okay.
let's do a pre-cap here. Going to be talking about electric airplanes,
Mm-hmm.
wireless power, real wireless power. Dodge is phasing out the Challenger and the Charger, and Google Messages starting to play nice with iOS Messenger or iMessage.
There
Get
you go.
excited. All in this episode of Geeking Out Ninjas.
Woo, woo. Beautiful.
All right. Let's get started with this. I know we talked about this Rolls-Royce electric aircraft a couple months ago, probably.
I don't know if it's that long ago, but a lot of EV going on today.
Yeah, there is a lot of electric vehicles going on today. It just happened to be the news that came up this week. So this electric airplane, they're calling the Spirit of Innovation.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely clobbered 3 world records in their latest flights. This comes not quite 2 months after the aircraft took off for its maiden flight. So this is all new stuff for them.
It is, but like, what kind of records are they breaking? I mean, come on.
So the aircraft reached a top speed of 345 miles per hour over 3 kilometers, smashing the existing record by 132 miles per hour.
But is that for an electric airplane or for any airplane?
That's a good question. They don't
say in the article.
They don't really say that, but
That's what I'm
assuming
saying.
it's for electric. I'm assuming
Yeah,
it's for electric.
Not a big deal. They're kind of probably breaking their own records.
No, I think they're doing this against other electric airplanes.
Not impressed yet.
Okay. They also broke the record for the fastest time to climb to 3-kilometer altitude by an entire minute, clocking in at 202 seconds. So it's about 3 minutes, as well as breaking 2 other speed records over distances of 3 and 15 kilometers, respectively. So the big thing about this plane, it's not designed to be a plane for everybody.
Right.
This is essentially a test plane. Hence the name Spirit of Innovation, right? It is mainly designed to provide much needed data so that they can use that to then put it into other bigger, more useful airplanes.
Yeah.
So it's to me, it's just kind of cool. They're doing stuff that really is kind of phenomenal at this point, in my opinion.
I mean, it is. It is. Don't mind. I'm not enthusiastic about it, but it's impressive.
So just thought it was kind of interesting to, we've talked about this. I like to follow some of these developments as they go. So,
sure.
We kind of hit back up on some of the things that we've talked about previously every once in a while, just to kind of check back up on how things are going. So that's that's that one.
I mean, they're moving forward, which is good.
They're getting more information to make electric airplanes better. I feel like this next article is very you. So you use Life360, right?
I do. I do use Life360. It's amazing.
So Tile, who we previously talked about,
Mm-hmm.
who just kind of got their clock rung a little bit by Apple. So Apple released the air tags and all that stuff, and Tile was pretty much the tracking company
Mm-hmm.
in the mobile space. So you would use their Tile trackers to track any sort of device that you wanted to. Apple kind of was kind of took them out of the running.
Took the air out of their sails.
Yeah, especially for iOS devices. But I thought this would be so. Tile was acquired by Life360
For $205 million.
Yeah. So Life360, for those who don't know, is a company whose services help families keep tabs on one another's safety.
Right. So the app allows, you put it on your phone and you can see where your family is. We just do the free version right now, and you can see like road trips, when they're going to the store or whatever. You can see how fast they were driving. It's pretty cool. It's pretty nice. That way we know where everybody is. But with this acquisition, it's going to allow Life360 for its users to track like with Apple, with like any kind of item, keys, whatever, and pets as well. So it coincides with their smartphone app. Um, I think that's pretty cool.
It's going to be a big boost to Tile and Life360. So
Right.
Life360 has 33 million smartphone users already,
Mhm.
which is going to help expand the reach of the Tile network by 10 times. And it also benefits Life360 because they're going to now have access to the 27,000 retailers
Right.
that Tile products are currently sold in. So it's going to benefit both companies.
More
Life360,
exposure.
yeah, Tile's going to still remain its own company and its
Mhm.
own branding. It'll essentially be like a sub brand of Life360.
Right.
So it's not going to completely change how Tile works, at least in the meantime.
Yeah.
But it's going to help them increase their network, because iOS devices for the AirTag or the tracking network that they have is like 1 billion iOS devices.
Right.
I mean, that's like an automatic huge network to start tracking people on, because it uses everybody's iOS device, whether you want to or not. You're part of the network.
Yeah.
So Tile had to find a way to increase the size of their network to even compete at all. And I think they had previously started working with Amazon to have Amazon do some to have Amazon kind of get into their Tile network.
Mm-hmm.
This is just going to further increase that. But also, Tile still needs to figure out how to compete against Apple, I think. And so this is going to help get them, um, or help them stay afloat financially, while they
Yeah.
figure out how to compete against Apple. And so it's a win-win for both companies, and hopefully it'll help Apple not dominate that market completely and kind of obliterate Tile. I mean, the other thing Tile has going for it is it's on Android, and then the Apple Find My network is only on Apple devices. So
Yeah.
you're very limited if you want to be an Android phone user and track your devices. So
You are, and so I'm excited. I will probably invest in some Tile here pretty soon with the merger,
it should
since I
be
already have the app.
since you already have the app. Why not?
Yeah.
All right. So the next one, we've talked about this company before. Another one that we're kind of just following their progress. Not that either one of us could ever afford to buy one of these. So
Yet.
Arc, yeah, yet. Gonna make my million somehow. Arc, which is an electric boat maker, has, and I don't care about the financial stuff so much, but they secured a Series A funding round of $30 million with certain investors such as Will Smith, Kevin Durant, and Sean Diddy Combs putting their money into this, which makes sense. I mean, this is a $300,000 boat, right?
Yeah.
This is designed to be for those millionaires, like celebrities and athletes and people who can actually afford this kind of stuff. I think it's once again, it's just another step towards they're kind of following the Tesla model, right?
Right.
Put out the really expensive car first, then you have the chance to make a lower priced boat in this case. Once you make your millions selling $300,000 boats, and so on and so forth. So the top speed of this thing is 40 miles per hour and can last about 4 hours under power before needing to be recharged, which the startup claims is plenty for a day out on the water.
It is, because you're not running a
Yeah,
boat
you're
for
not
4
running
hours.
4 hours straight, right? It's not like a road trip.
Right.
Usually idling somewhere, doing different things.
Partying, fishing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
The big advantage of this boat over most other electric boats is that it can be used for water sports. So this is 40 miles per hour is a pretty quick boat for recreational use, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's got that over pretty much anything else out there.
I think this is I think this will work, because once they start making their money, they can make lower cost boats as they get better and better.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm curious
I
how
don't
much
think,
lower cost they're going to be, though. That's the thing. Like,
well,
will it move to like, instead of like multimillionaires, it's now just like people who make $1 million or $2 million?
but you got to think, I mean, if cars are coming down in price, I mean, for a boat, I mean, you're moving something on water, so it doesn't need to be like super horsepower. 40 miles an hour is great, like you said, for if you're going to drag people behind it. But going fishing and doing things that normal people do, you don't need to go 40. You can go 25 or 30 to get to your spot, and you don't need 10 hours of time. So I think it's something that'll actually move rather quickly.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
We need more things electrified.
Yeah.
And boats are such a prime thing because you have to fuel up on the river or the lake that you're on anyway. So it's like, I mean, that's an easy thing to kind of replace. So what's interesting, so ARC has former SpaceX employees as well, which is kind of interesting. I mean, they're not like former Tesla employees, they're former SpaceX employees. So I don't know, just thought that bit was kind of interesting. Random thought by Craig. Disregard.
No, I think it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing how they grow.
Next story, talking about Roku problems.
Roku.
Oh,
do you use Roku?
I have a Roku and I used it for a while. I don't like Roku.
I don't either. These are just personal feelings.
These are all personal preferences. Everybody, it's the same thing when people always ask me, what do you prefer, an iPhone or an Android? I'm like, I prefer Android, but whatever you want to use, whatever makes you most effective, totally fine. I don't have a problem with that. So it's good that there's choice out there. So you got the Apple TV, you've got the Roku, you've got the Fire TV, you've got Android TV, you've got whatever, some Chinese company making whatever. Whatever works for you, man.
Well,
totally
hopefully whatever works for you.
Yeah, in this case,
apparently this isn't.
Roku not working so much. They put out an update, a software update that kind of made all the apps not work, right?
Yeah, that's not good.
Not good at all. So certain older Roku TV models or older Roku Ultra players are affected by the update. Roku Ultra models 4660. Most people are not going to know what model they have. 4660, 4661, 4662, or 4670. And users with a Roku TV model 7XXX, which anything in the 7000 series, need to manually check for a software update. So what's interesting is they're actually downgrading people with the software update.
Yes.
So they're downgrading them from 10.5 to 10.
Which is not a good week, like, to do that.
Yeah, this is a real bad week to release an update like that, right?
Right. And, because most Roku devices, I mean, are relatively inexpensive. I mean, you're talking a $50, $60 range, which isn't, I mean, the TV's more, but I mean, for the most part, if you want a Roku, right?
Well, what's interesting is, so the ones that it affects are actually the expensive items, right? So the Roku Ultra is their expensive device, and their TVs are obviously however much TVs cost for Roku.
Right. But if they don't get the updates, like, what are you going to do? Right? It stops working. What do you go do? You go buy another one.
Not a Roku Ultra or a Roku TV, I don't think.
I don't know. If you're already buying that, I mean,
like a Roku Ultra is like $100 unless you get it on sale. Not that that's like super expensive, but
like if I'm thinking, someone, not a young person, but probably middle aged like us or older. I mean, if theirs stops working, and you're not keeping up with this info, and like, oh, I gotta look for the update or whatever, like you probably won't buy another Roku. You'll probably go buy another device.
Yeah.
Because I spent $100 on this, it didn't work, or it stopped working. I'm gonna go pick up a Android TV. I'm gonna go get an Apple TV because those don't break. I mean, I'm just saying it's just not a good time.
No, yeah, you're right.
For something like this to happen. Everybody's coming for the holidays or spending time at home, kids or whatever, families home. You want to watch your content. Not
gotta watch that football game.
You gotta watch that. Yeah. Paramount Plus.
Cowboys and Lions.
Yeah. So it's
I don't know if there are other games on Thursdays anymore. Those are the two that I remember.
There's 3 games on Thursdays now.
3 games. Are 2 of them still the Cowboys and the Lions?
Cowboys, Lions play first. Cowboys always play second, and then there's 2 random teams that play the night game.
I'll be rooting for the random teams in the night game.
Thank you.
Go sports.
Yeah, it's terrible. Roku, shame on you.
Yeah, like you said, this is like the worst week to release an update. Like, wait until next week. Like, why would you do it the week of Thanksgiving? That just seems like a bonehead move on their part.
And you, don't you test this? Like, I'm assuming they test the update, right?
You would think so, but here's what I've learned over the last like 5 or so years. Quality control in software has gotten so terrible.
Yeah.
Like it's its own pandemic, if you will. As someone who works in IT, I deal with Microsoft's lack of quality control on a monthly basis.
Yes.
They break stuff. So they released an update, I think this past week or this past Patch Tuesday, which was like 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. They released an update that had like a day 0 exploit, which a day 0 means they don't have a patch for it when it gets announced. That allows someone who has local access to a computer to gain admin access to a computer, and it only takes a few seconds. So
that's a pretty big hole there.
Yeah. So the patch was designed to fix an exploit, but it created a whole new one that was even like worse. So it's like, I see this kind of stuff all the time. It's like nobody is testing everything that they should be testing, and it causes more issues for everybody.
Yeah.
And it's not just one company. It is every single company that's doing it. Even Apple. I mean, Apple is releasing updates that break things for their customers.
Mm-hmm.
They're usually pretty good about sending out a patch in a day or 2 to fix whatever they broke, but nobody is immune to the issue.
Yeah.
It's just it it's like, could y'all not have spent that extra day or two to just like test stuff? Like, I think we're all cool waiting like a week to get another update.
Yeah,
That's
we're
just,
trying to fix something else, though.
yeah. All right. All the I don't even know what to call them. All the people who love Hemi engines are in for a rude awakening.
Oh, it's a sad day.
The Dodge Charger and the Dodge Challenger Coupe in 2024 will cease production in order to make way for the automaker's first electric vehicles.
No, I'm assuming they're going to make like a Charger EV, right?
Oh yeah, they've got to, right?
Yeah, I mean that's one of their signature brands, so I'm assuming that
They're
it'll
gonna,
be a
yeah,
it says here an e-muscle car, I guess is what they're going to call it.
yeah. I love Dodge would not sell electric cars; it will sell e-muscle. I'm like, okay, whoever thought of that in the marketing department, don't be stupid.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's got to be like a Charger EV and a Challenger EV. I
right.
can't imagine that they would go with a different brand unless they don't want to taint those brands just in case their EV sucks.
Maybe not on the first few runs. Maybe it'll come.
Who,
They'll like reintroduce it, right?
yeah, I mean they don't really go into any details about what they're gonna make. It's just it's gonna be an electric muscle car, a concept car in 2022, followed by a plug-in hybrid vehicle, which I don't know why you would go to plug-in hybrid, and then a mysterious third vehicle after that. So they'll produce their first EV in 2024, and we'll see whatever they. I'm assuming they'll probably announce more next year, is my guess.
Right. Well,
You'll
they
actually
do
find out what kind of car it is.
they do say that they're going to have electric versions of the Charger and Challenger, and they also plan on producing electric trucks.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna do a battery-powered Ram 1500, which everybody's trying to electrify their trucks at this point.
Right.
Ford's got the F-150 Lightning coming out. I think once everybody realized that Tesla was getting into the truck game, they were like, "Oh crap, we also need to make a truck, or else we're gonna get our lunch eaten here."
I will say I've seen video of is it Rivian?
Rivian, yeah, the Rivian is
Rivian.
real nice.
Those are pretty slick.
Yeah, if their charging network was there, like I'm not a big truck person, but I would totally get a Rivian. Like
Yeah. Yeah,
it's a
they're pretty
really
sweet.
nice vehicle. To me, it's a better quality Tesla.
Hmm.
So the Tesla's interiors, they're Spartan. They don't use the best materials. It's not like Mercedes level
Sure.
of
Leather,
luxury, if you will.
luxury. Yeah.
But the Rivian, it is a someone said it's like a Tesla and a Volvo combined. So Volvo uses really nice materials for
Yes.
their interiors. The leather is really soft. Everything's just really nice. We have a Volvo, but it I thought that was kind of an interesting way to put it. It's a Tesla and a Volvo combined. It's got a lot of the technology that you would expect in a Tesla, but a much more luxurious feeling on the inside. But there are
Yeah.
just some cool little features. If you haven't seen a video, check out like a Rivian review, because they're
Right.
the little features that they have in this truck are pretty cool. And they
Yeah.
have their so that's the R1T is their truck.
Hmm.
They have an R1S, which is their SUV. I think it'll be a 7-seater SUV, coming out sometime in early next year. I think they got it pushed back from end of this year to early next year for the SUV. But I'm pretty curious to see what that one's going to turn out to be, because that one might be something that I'm looking at getting. Just because
Yeah.
the Tesla Model X is ridiculous in how much it costs. And then the Model Y is just a little too small for having, in my opinion, like 5 people.
Right.
I would prefer something a little bit bigger. So the Rivian might be something that I'm interested in getting. Because the thing about Rivian is they're actually going to build a charging network out. They're building the charging infrastructure themselves. They realized that trying to rely on the other companies that are building charging infrastructure is
Right.
not the way to go. And what's good about what Rivian's doing is they're going to make a lot of it available to everybody. So there'll be some that are designed to fast charge just with the Rivians. That'll be part of their adventure network, is what they're calling it. And then they'll have a bunch of other chargers, which are level 2 chargers. They charge a little bit slower, but they'll be available for everybody to use, which is nice to add for everybody to get a little more charging infrastructure. But really, we need to get more car manufacturers, people who have a stake in the game.
Yeah.
They need to be the ones building the infrastructure. Until that happens, EVs are going to be a real hard sell. I actually had a friend of mine tell me they had a friend of theirs bought a Tesla, and she was like, yeah, but they're thinking about getting rid of it. I was like, didn't they just buy it? And she was like, yeah, they did, but they live in an apartment complex. They said they really like the car, but they live in an apartment complex where I think they have like 2 EV chargers, right? And people are constantly charging there, and so it's real hard for him to charge his car. And so I was like, yeah, not owning a home and having an electric vehicle is very tough.
Yeah, that's difficult. That's a disadvantage there.
Yeah. It's because the charging infrastructure is not there. I mean, you would think in an apartment complex they should be able to put in a bunch of chargers.
Yeah, but who's
like level 2 chargers?
They should, but who's going to pay for it?
Yeah, exactly. I know that with the recent passing of I think it's the infrastructure bill. Was that the Build Back Better bill? Or
yeah, I think so.
They earmarked like $7.5 billion for EV chargers.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with the way they did it is I think they're all like low. They're all like level 2 chargers. So it's like it's nice, but also no, it's not worth it. The majority should have been like level 3 chargers. And with part of that Build Back Better bill, they should have made like a mandate. Hey, we need to standardize on our charging port. Like, let's all get in this together. Let's figure out. Hey, Europe did it. They've got all their stuff set. Even Tesla doesn't have their proprietary charger in Europe. They have the standard charger in Europe. Let's do that. Let's make this a thing, and let's actually make our infrastructure what it needs to be. Sorry, I went on a charging rant. It's the biggest hurdle for electric adoption, and I feel like until somebody fixes the problem, which the government talks about it, but they don't actually fix the actual problem.
Well, it's because of oil.
It's gonna continue to be an issue. What they need to do is take all the oil subsidies that they're handing out to all these companies and make more charging infrastructure. But that'll be impossible because the oil lobbying industry is insane.
Right.
There's too much money in that for them to give that up. All right. I'll get off my soapbox.
All right. Well, let's talk about Google Messages update. They have an update that translates iMessage responses for Android users.
Yeah. This is kind of awesome. I don't know if you have gotten responses like people give you like a thumbs up on a message on like an iPhone user, an iMessage user will send you like a response back on a message you sent. It's just like a thumbs up or this person likes the comment or whatever. On iOS, it shows up as like a heart or a thumbs up on top of the message, right?
Yes.
But on Android, when you get a reaction from an iPhone user, it shows up as like a whole separate message. It's like, this person liked this message.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, that's dumb. So Google, as part of the Google Messenger, implemented a similar feature for Android messages, right? So Android to Android, it has like the same sort of functionality. But now they're adding that functionality. It's like a crazy hack that they had to do to get those responses from iOS Messenger. Or I always want to say iOS Messenger. It's iMessage. I know what it's called. I just don't want to call it that because my brain doesn't work. But it's kind of cool. They hacked something together, but it's rolling out to users right now, so that now instead of getting like a whole separate message, which can be confusing because if you're in like a group message and somebody does that, or multiple people do that, you're just getting like tons of like extra messages, which is dumb. So kind of a nice thing. It would be nice if Apple would just like adopt RCS messaging for iPhones, so that wouldn't even be an issue.
Right. It's all standard. Again, we're just talking about everybody getting on the same page.
Yeah. Or iMessage becoming an open standard so Apple and Google can use it, and anybody else. But as part of the lawsuit with Apple and Epic, we all found out that Apple doesn't want to let anybody else use iMessage because they see it as platform lock-in, and they know that they can keep iMessage users hostage by making it impossible for them to use it on any other platform.
Yeah.
So it's never going to happen.
I never used like a third party messaging.
You've never used a third party messaging, so you just use like text messages?
Yeah. I don't want to switch apps to message people. I don't use Snapchat to message people. It's just I don't do it.
Why worry about all that? Yeah, I mean, it's pretty big headache. I think I have a couple different messaging apps just so I can message different people, which is super annoying, right? Like it'd be nice if everything was just like one messaging app and I don't have to worry about which one do I use for this person. Oh yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
which
I don't get it.
Yeah, which is why I think Meta, whatever you want to call them now, combined their WhatsApp messaging, Instagram messaging, and Facebook messaging into like one standard. Every time not every time, but every time, a lot of times when I go to accidentally scroll to the messaging functionality of Instagram, it's like, do you want to switch to the new one? I'm like, no, I don't. There's a reason I'm not on Facebook. I don't want to be contacted, please. Thank you.
Oh, you're missing out.
Am I though? Am I? All right.
You are. You are. I don't use Instagram, so everything I put on Facebook, you miss out on.
That's true. I don't even have a Facebook account anymore.
Yeah.
It's for the best. Apple will soon send parts and tools to users who want to repair their phones.
Yes.
Right to repair, man.
I think it's because we ran that episode.
Oh, it's totally. Tim Cook, if you're listening to this message, I'm recording a message for you. If you're listening to this podcast,
keep listening because we have great ideas.
Thank you. Also, if you could send me some free stuff, that'd be great. Thanks. I'll take an iPad Pro.
Very nice. Very nice. Way to sell out.
Hey, I've told this to other people. I gave and she listens to this podcast, so I'm going to call her out. iPads are the best tablets on the market. Yeah. The best tablets on the market. I had someone recently who had an iPad. She was like, I don't like it. I'm like, why? It's the best. It's the best tablet you can have. And then we talked about it after she sold it. She was like, well, it doesn't have this, and this. I'm like, you can do all those things on the iPad. She's like, she didn't say this, but it was essentially like,
yeah.
What?
Well, it's funny. So my daughter has the iPad, and then she got a Microsoft laptop, Surface Laptop 3. Yeah.
Surface Pro 3?
No, not the Surface Pro. The laptop.
Oh, the actual laptop.
Yeah.
Is it the one that detaches?
It does detach, yes.
The screen detaches, yeah.
It does, and she has the pen.
Okay.
And she uses it because her school, she needs a Windows-based machine.
Yeah.
But she'll use both. But then, the just different apps do different things and such. So she likes both of them.
Yeah.
A lot. She does play a lot of. She's started playing Minecraft now
Oh, really?
on the laptop. Yes, yes, and
Interesting.
Subnautica.
Subnautica. I have heard of Subnautica.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, back to the went on a tangent there.
Sorry.
No, it was my fault. So Apple, I think, under threat of what the FTC is trying to do with right to repair, because Apple's not going to do this on their own. They don't care about the customer.
No, no, no.
They don't care if you can repair your phone. They just want your money. They are going to starting early next year in the United States, with more regions coming later on. We'll start allowing you to repair your own iPhone 12 and iPhone 13 devices. The way you will do this, you will essentially request the parts from Apple, and they will send you the tools and the parts and the instructions you need to make the repair yourself. We don't have any idea how much this is going to cost. I'm assuming they're going to charge a fortune for this.
Yes, of course.
This is not going to be a cheap endeavor. If you really want to do this, kudos to you. It's going to be expensive as hell. Most people, they want to repair their own device because they can use other parts, right?
Yeah.
They don't have to buy Apple official parts, and it'll still work. It's still exactly what they want.
At a reduced cost.
At a significantly reduced cost. Because I'm assuming, and I haven't done this in a while, but like an official Apple screen's like $200 to $300.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably find one on like Amazon for like $100.
Yeah.
It still works.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably not as good, but it still works. It just kind of, it's good that they're doing it.
Right.
Nice of them to bow to the future impending legislation of the government. But I just feel like this is going to probably be too expensive for most people. And, prove me wrong, Apple, Tim Cook, if you're listening. Because he listens to us. He's one of our 40 listeners.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Well, maybe with the Apple Care coverage, maybe you'll get a reduced price if you buy the coverage on your phone as well.
That would be interesting. At that point, I don't know if you're buying Apple Care. I don't know why you would want to do it yourself. Maybe you just want to because you want to, but
you may not have an actual Apple repair shop near you.
No, that is true. That is true. You could be in a part of the country that doesn't have an Apple store. Right. Maybe you live in a rural area, or you just don't have access. You're not anywhere near an Apple store where you can send it in, or be without your phone for a long time, and being able to repair it and have it the same day is pretty appealing, even if you have to pay a premium for it. But I'm assuming the people who live in those rural areas are not going to be able to pay whatever it costs to repair their own phone. So it's like it's a kind of an ironic twist there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We'll see what happens. This is one of those stories where we'll follow and just kind of update you as we find out more information. I like that they're doing this. This is not something they would have done on their own. This is definitely, I think they're just trying to head off legislation or government intervention in the future. Mm-hmm. They're like, well, we're already letting customers do their thing, even though it's like $1 bajillion to do it. Not our fault. It's just how much stuff costs. So I honestly just think they still need to do a better job of right to repair. But it's a good step in the right direction, even though it's probably still out of the reach of like 99% of customers.
Yeah, it looks like they're making an effort.
Yeah, in the in the eyes of the government, that's all that matters.
Yeah,
we know how it goes. We're making an effort to improve the charging infrastructure, but we're not really gonna do a good job of it.
Yeah.
Government 101. Make it seem like you're helping the customer. I guess technically we're all the customer of the government, right?
Right.
Make it seem like you're helping the lowly folks who don't run the government. And then they'll leave you alone. All right. This is my bash the government episode. It doesn't matter who's in charge. I'm still gonna bash you.
Right. Exactly.
I'm an equal opportunity hater of the government. I don't care who you are. You're letting me down in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
And just usually in different ways.
All right. We're going to get back on track. We got one more article for the evening.
This one is the most interesting to me, which is why it's last. Arcos, a French company, announced a partnership with, I'm going to probably butcher this, Ossia, a Washington-based maker of over-the-air charging technology. The future is now, Jeremiah.
It's been with us for a while, if you know who Tesla is.
Well, I mean,
Tesla. But anyways.
Different kind of future. This is the future we've all been waiting for. So Arcos is currently making plans to design and build a smartwatch, an indoor security camera, an air monitor, and a smart tracker that can charge their batteries without using a cable or a charging pad.
Woo! That's pretty cool. What's an air monitor? Are they talking like for your air
Probably
conditioner?
like an air quality monitor is my guess. You know,
Okay.
for people who live in California.
I digress. So each device is gonna hold a what they call a CODA power receiver.
Yeah, this whole article or that whole paragraph really talks about it.
Yeah. So essentially, I mean that's just pretty cool that a signal, which they say is harmless, is going to be able to basically send the energy to charge the device over the air to the oh gosh, what does it say? The devices will speak to each other 100 times per second.
Yeah.
So that they'll know how much power is, in reserve and how much to fill up.
How much is needed?
Yeah. That is like ridiculous. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So in order to conserve energy, the transmitter only sends out power if a device with the receiver is within range. So it's not just like shooting power out into your living room if there's no device around. So when they demoed this product at CES, which is the Consumer Electronics Trade Show in Las Vegas every January, the panel was essentially a foot by a foot in size.
Mm-hmm.
And had a range of about 30 feet. I think we talked about this back in January. Mm-hmm. So it would work even if the device was in your pocket or a drawer, which is pretty cool. It's not just like sitting out next to the device open air. What's also cool is there'll be an app that you can view the devices that are connected to the wireless charger. Since it can power a bunch of devices simultaneously. So that could be interesting to see. I just hope that, and there's more information in the article, but I hope that they make this like a standard so we don't have like a bunch of random wireless chargers. Could you imagine that being a huge mess?
Because then you got to pay attention to what you're buying and is it compatible with this
charger? I don't know. So that'll be a big, because that happened with the current quote unquote wireless chargers, right? The ones where you put your phone down. There were like 3 or 4 different standards for a while, and then they all got together and they decided the Qi standard that everybody knows as the QI or it's actually pronounced Qi. The Qi standard came to be. It's like, okay, this is going to be the baseline. It's like the Qi standard supports up to this many whatever. And it's like, okay, I know it's going to work. But now everybody's like built on top of that. So it's like all these other manufacturers have like, it's base is Qi, but then if you have a specific device, it goes this much faster and all that stuff. But I just hope that there is one standard to use because it would That would suck so bad. You buy it and then you buy something else. You're like, it doesn't wirelessly charge. I need to take this back.
So they're hoping that their products debut in the US in late 22 or 23.
Yeah. They're still waiting for FCC approval for the use of the radio frequencies that they're using for the power.
Well, they can use it. It says here that 2.4 gigahertz, but they're waiting for 5.8 approval.
Yeah. I'm just curious if this is going to cause a lot of other interference with Wi-Fi. So 2.4 is what a lot of Wi-Fi uses in the 5 gigahertz frequency. And I don't know specifically because I don't care that much. Somewhere in the 5 gigahertz frequency is where a lot of newer wireless Wi-Fi for all you normal people, the Wi-Fi's. That's where that uses. So I'm curious if this is going to cause interference with Wi-Fi.
Well, the new routers are coming out with Wi-Fi 6. So are they moving up on that radio band?
This is not a discussion on Wi-Fi, Jeremiah.
Just saying.
Oh, it's still Wi-Fi 6 still uses the 5 gigahertz frequency, I believe.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
Call it 6 then. Doesn't make any sense.
It's just the next generation.
So they got to confuse me for.
So Wi-Fi 6, I believe, includes the 6 gigahertz frequency. No, wait, that's Wi-Fi 6E. It gets real confusing. Wi-Fi 6 is still 2.4 and 5 gigahertz, which is what has been the wireless for a long time. I'm probably losing like five people have probably just fallen asleep. But yeah, so Wi-Fi 6E uses 6 gigahertz, but
we're not there yet.
That actually has already been.
Well, I mean, it is, but I'm saying like all our devices don't use that yet.
Oh God, no. Most devices don't even use Wi-Fi 6.
Right.
And really, to make this easier to understand, Wi-Fi 5 is probably what most people have, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a certain speed that you're gonna get. It's like up to 7 gigabits per second. Your device can't do that. Just FYI. Wi-Fi 6 goes up to 10 gigabits per second. So it's 3 gigabits per second faster. Once again, your device can't do any of these things. It's a shared. It's like a shared speed.
It's not.
So each device can use. I don't want to get into Wi-Fi.
No,
that's a whole different.
I think that's a pretty good explanation. We can stop that conversation right there.
I could really get into the nerdiness of wireless.
Well, I led you down that path, and I'm sorry.
You did this to me.
I did do that.
Yeah.
So I'll pull it back over on the road. So yeah, some exciting devices coming out that hopefully will make wireless charging a little bit more available and useful. So good at charging.
Yeah. What's interesting about the smart tracker, it can be used on pets or, be used in a purse or something. What's kind of cool about that is if it's used in your pet, like you don't ever have to like worry about changing the batteries or charging the tracker. That pet just walks into the room with the wireless charger, boom.
Yeah.
It's now charged and you don't have to worry about it. Stuff like that. I mean, it's going to make life so much, I guess I shouldn't say life will make life easier, but it'll be very beneficial. It one less thing you have to worry about. Like, could you imagine your remote for your TV has a wireless charger in it? You never have to worry about changing the batteries or plugging it in to charge. That kind of stuff to me seems simple, but it's gonna just improve. I hate saying this because it's just charging, but it's gonna improve your like quality of life, right?
Well, it does, because then it's also reduces waste. You don't and you don't have to keep buying batteries and then recycling them or whatever. I mean, it just piles on.
Or maybe you're a gamer and your controllers are wirelessly charging while you're playing, and now you never have to worry about your battery dying while you're playing a game. Like, I mean, just think about that kind of stuff. Or your phone is charging, so you don't have to worry about, oh crap, I'm down to 5%. No, you don't, because now
Exactly.
your phone is automatically charging when you're in that specific room. I mean, it just simplifies life. You don't have to worry about charging your device. You don't have to worry about that kind of stuff.
Right.
It just makes life easier.
It'll take life back to the time before we had devices that we had to charge.
It's true. It'll be like you never had the device in the first place, except
That's true.
now you'll never have to take a break from your phone because it'll always be fully charged.
Or you just buy a long charging cable.
Yeah.
All right. You're set.
Yeah. Same. 15-foot cable or wireless charging.
There you go.
It's all the same to me. So, like Jeremiah said, it'll be out sometime in the next, hopefully, 2 years.
Yeah.
We'll see. This is one of those things that's like distant future. It'll be one of those things where you completely forget about it, and then it's like, oh, hey, this.
Oh, by the way, yeah.
This is now a thing. You're like, oh yeah, I remember that from like 3 years ago.
Oh, hey, update. So I tried the Netflix apps, the games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Please
they're
tell.
terrible.
Oh, okay.
They're terrible.
Good to know. Even
It's
like
not-
the solitaire. Do they have solitaire in there?
I forget what I tried. I tried a couple.
Bad
I don't know.
games.
I was disappointed. I was like, not
Shouldn't
worth
be.
my time.
Yeah, I shouldn't be surprised about that. But
No,
I think we kind of expected that.
pretty cheesy, but
It's a
it
start.
was like games that like were cool when the phones first came out.
Oh, gotcha.
Like, oh, my phone can do this kind of game. Yeah.
I can play Snake.
Yeah. Almost.
Yeah. What's
But so don't worry about trying your Netflix game apps. It's
Don't
just,
rush out to try the Netflix app.
Nah. Just watch shows.
Just watch all of the great shows on Netflix.
There you go.
Speaking of Netflix, this is a terrible segue because I don't have anything prepared. I don't remember the guy's name. Disregard. Disregard.
I'm interested now. You got me. Speaking of Netflix, it's like, well, what's going on?
Fill airtime, Jeremiah. I'm gonna do a quick search here.
So, what I like about Netflix is the fact that I can pull up TV shows and movies that I enjoy watching, and I don't have to worry about playing games on the Netflix app. And actually, I don't know if you recall, but you actually have to. It's a separate app, so these games aren't like in your Netflix login. It actually just takes you to the Play Store, and you actually download the app, which was it was just terrible. It's a terrible game or games. I think there's 4 of them. It was not worth it. And I will not look at another Netflix game for many, many years.
until someone says, "Hey, there's a good game on the Netflix app."
Yeah. Yeah. Even if it's connected to Stranger Things, I don't think it's worth it.
Definitely not worth it. So there is a comedian on Netflix. I have to preface this because everybody has their own taste in comedy, right? If you like dry humor, I would recommend Nate Bargatze.
Oh, yes. I like Nate.
He's my wife just recently we watched a Netflix special of his.
Yes.
It's pretty funny. If you like dry humor. If you don't like dry humor, probably don't watch it. But
when I first, because I've heard him on, we listen to Spotify or Pandora, like comedy radio.
yeah,
So when I first saw his special, like, to me, his voice didn't match his face. Like, to me, it was like, oh, that's what he looks like. Huh. I was like, ah. But yeah, very funny guy. I enjoyed him. I like Nate. He's got some good stuff out there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's all we got for the show, right?
Is that what we got for tonight?
Like, subscribe, share.
Hit us up on Facebook.
Don't hit him, but reach out to Jeremiah on Facebook.
Please do, because
Reach out.
Craig's not there.
reach out to us on our YouTube channel, Geeking Out
Yes.
Ninjas. Just go to geekingoutninjas.com and say hi, and find us on every podcasting platform that you can think of, and we will be there.
And share us. Let your friends know.
Yes,
Let them know
please.
how smart you are because of our show.
Or how dumb you think we are, and then maybe they'll listen.
There you go.
Either
All right.
way, as long as they listen, that's all that matters.
Exactly. All right. Well, thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Ta-ta. Happy Thanksgiving.